I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the counselor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saeed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saeed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's been a while, viewers. But nevertheless, we are live here on Real Talk. Remember, viewers, Real Talk Financing is the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you 4% on a fixed deposit. Remember that, viewers. No other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is giving you 4% on a fixed deposit. Now, the good thing about this 4% is that you're getting your interest up front. This I could guarantee you now that no banks, no credit union, no institution that deals with money is giving you your interest up front. Remember that, viewers, only us at Real Talk Financing, we are doing that. So, viewers, call our office, set up an appointment. Remember, we are located at Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas and 25C Perro Street in San Fernando. Our numbers are on screen, viewers. Feel free to contact us. Remember, this is the month of December. Everybody want extra money to spend for the Christmas. You have your cash put down in a financial institution, it is doing absolutely nothing for you. The growth is 1%, 2%. So why not take it from that institution, bring it to Real Talk Financing, and earn 4% with your interest up front. You get to enjoy your interest. Remember, if you put your money across there and you're dying at 1%, 2%, you're not getting nothing. You're not going to enjoy it. You had to wait 10 years before you enjoy the money. So why not join a financial institution where you're getting your interest up front so you can enjoy your interest? So you won't have to die on it. We are the only one doing that, Trinidad and Tobago. The only one. Also, viewers, remember, those of you looking for cash, it's not a problem. We are Real Talk Financing. We would lend you cash. All you need is some form of security for we to hold in order for you to get cash borrow. Viewers, within 24 to 48 hours, you're getting cash in your hand. Remember that. It's only us at Real Talk Financing. We do that. So, as we start our program tonight, just a touchback, viewers, just a little highlight on what we missed out. Remember, we bring news to you in a different way. The Auditor General, Jayawanti Ramdas, has recently expressed an adverse opinion about the 2020 financial statement of the Public Transport Corporation Service, now that's PTSC. In an audit general report dated November 8, former PTSC chairman Edwin Gooding, while needing to view the report, did not believe anything was onward. In offering his initial impression, Ramdas also expressed dissatisfaction over accounting of $850 million in accumulated deficit and government grant. So viewers, once more in Trinidad and Tobago, it's money unaccounted for or money gone missing. Imagine. Firstly, she cited a PTSC statement of financial position as being an accumulated deficit of $339 million and non-current liabilities, government grant of $511 million. The Auditor General has also queried the PTSC statement of financial income for 2020. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all to understand this. Is the government institution in Trinidad and Tobago, are they doing proper audits to send it to the Auditor General? Now, I just want to remind you all that the Auditor General office is the office that will give the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago accountability on how the government spend taxpayers' money. I want to let you understand that. This is the only office in the land that audits the government spending. The only office that will tell us if there is a fault, if there is a mistake. I want to let you remember that. Also, I want you all to understand that we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, pay taxes. A certain amount of our salary goes towards taxes. Now, with these taxes, the government say it is for health, it is for teaching, it is for security, it is for Coast Guard, it is for roads, it is for schools. Now, mind you, we pay any taxes for all these things. When $3.4 billion goes missing and nobody can account for it, there is lack of better roads, there is lack of better schools, there is lack of medicine in the hospital, there are lack of police vehicle and police presence on the road. There are lack of Coast Guard vessels. There will also be lack of firefighters' equipment. All these entities that I just called are entities that work hand in hand to protect us, the citizens. And how they are funded? They are funded by the tax we as a citizen contribute. Now, when money goes missing, how could we get the service that we are paying tax for? Ask yourself that. When those that are sitting on the seat that's supposed to give account and accountability for what we pay for and what we expect that individual to do, when that individual hit us at 6 for a 9, what do we do? I'm asking you as a citizen, what do we do? Tell us. 2386716. Feel free to call in the program, viewers, and let us know what is taking place. Now, we're just stepping across the Guyana. In Trinidad and Tobago, we had to beg and protest for a 4% hike. The port workers were told to down all the protest and go back to work. The Pilot Association is starting to kick up brass again in Trinidad. As of yesterday, negotiation is failing. So let me just step across to Guyana. The president of Guyana, Saieed Ali, has announced a 10% retroactive salary increase for all public servants And the people with academic qualification will also benefit financially as of January next year. Ali said the public servant will also receive an 8% increase in salary in 2025 and that these new wage package follow talks with the Guyana Public Servant Union, GPSU. He stated that the 10% increase in salary will amount to a 35% conglomerative salary increase over the last 4 years. Trinidad and Tobago, they are getting a 35% conglomerative salary increase over a 4-year period. You think I'm lying? Listen to this.
At this moment, we are about to sign an agreement with the Guyana Public Service Union. In that agreement, the public servants will benefit this year, retroactive from January, from a 10% increase in salary. This 10% increase in salary, which is retroactive from 1st of January 2024, will amount to 35% cumulative salary increase over the last 4 years. 35% cumulative salary increase over the last 4 years. Further, you've been able to agree with the union that 2025 will also see an increase in the salary of public servants of 8%. So you sign a 2-year agreement with 10% this year, 8% next year, and that of course will take that cumulative increase much higher.
So Trinidad and Tobago, they didn't have to protest. The citizens of Guyana did not have to protest. Now, Ali said in addition, the government will work on various salary scales adjustment from next year in a move aimed at guaranteeing that workers take home more money monthly. Now in Trinidad, hear what this government do in Trinidad and Tobago. When they gave you $10 more to carry home, they bring out an $8 tax. So you're going home with $2. Yes, you're going home with $2. And with that $2 now, well, let's say they bring out an $8 tax with some here and some there and some everywhere, right? With $8 now being taxed, everything goes up. So actually the $2 you're going home with now, it's gone. And that takes place right here in Trinidad. Now he stated that persons with a master's degree will get 22,000 Guyanese monthly, while those with a doctorate will receive 32,000 monthly. This is in keeping with our commitment of incentives in education. Now I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Fast as Guyana are developing, the people of Guyana are benefiting. Are we benefiting in Trinidad and Tobago? Recently, the government had a hike in their salary. How much did you benefit? You had to protest for days for 4%. What about the port workers? What about your jobs? You got anything? I'm going to tell you something. It's stinking sad. It's stinking sad. Knowing that you, the people, put the government there for Trinidad and Tobago to be better off. What again return? What again return? A commissioner of police who got an increase for doing absolutely nothing. That's very good. We got a minister of finance who always saying, we lack money. We lack money. We have a minister who's saying, tighten your belt. He's still there now with a $28,000 increase, while telling you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, instead of you eat half a roti, eat quarter roti. It's sad, but we like it so. I hope all vote PNM next year. So the quarter roti that all are eating, all you got to cut that in half. How many of you are very happy now? How many of you? Seeing that all your prime minister who all you love, telling all you to tighten all your belt. Tighten all your belt. While he got a 28,000 increase. What about Marvin Gonzalez, who told you that your parents tightening their belts to give you a better future? How much he going home with? Not going home with. How much his increase was? Find out and all you tell me. Now Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. Ali said eligible categories of health workers would get 5,000 Guyanese dollar annually increase in uniform allowance and 10,000 for public servants. Listen to this.
Effective from the 1st of January 2025, the introduction of qualification allowances for persons who have quarters while on the job. Holders of ACCA will receive an additional $15,000 allowance monthly. Holders of a master's degree will receive an additional $22,000 monthly. And holders of a doctoral degree will receive an additional $32,000 monthly. This is in keeping with our commitment of incentivizing education, incentivizing training, and the development of our human capital. Additionally, a 5,000 annual increase in uniform allowance for current eligible categories of health workers, and also a 10,000 increase for public servants, resulting in an increase of as much as 77% in this allowance.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, as I said before, Guyana is developing and the citizens are benefiting from the development in the country. We in Trinidad, we are a developed country. We had oil, we had gas, we had sugar cane, we had rice, we had a production, we had agriculture, scoring in Trinidad and Tobago. Today we have to look for agriculture. We have to look for agriculture. We had a protest against increase. We shut down our working refinery. Our working refinery we shut down to import oil. Now listen to this. Ali said, from the announcement you can see that the government commitment to every category of people of our country is unquestionable. They are working for their people. Are you getting justice? Listen to this.
The granting of 100 duty-free concessions per annum to the position of staff nurses and above, with priority given to persons with the longest years of service and those who have never benefited from a duty-free concession. This would ensure that the criteria of those who are granted the duty-free also serve the time, which is 5 years or 3 years, so it is an incentive for the retention of our nurses also. Of course, the continuous awarding of scholarships is a continued benefit to the public service. So as you can see from this announcement, this government commitment to the people of our country, to every category of the people of our country, is unquestionable.
The viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to hear something from the SRC after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Now, incoming salary review commissioner, the chairman Ian D'Souza, have stated that he is not daunted by the task given to him, despite the body coming under heavy criticism from its recent report, which recommended hefty salary increase for parliamentarians. D'Souza stated that he had no hand in that report that has recommended increase to the salaries of the Prime Minister, the President, opposition leaders, and other high-ranking public officials. So, which is true, D'Souza just went in probably about last week. I believe he signed in as a new member. We cannot blame him for this. He was not there. You understand? But nevertheless, in Trinidad, we say once you are a member of that club, you will be labeled. However, he said he understands the process the SRC used to make its decision. D'Souza said he accepts the appointment because he always wanted to do service to Trinidad and Tobago, and the SRC allow him to do so. That in an independent fashion, as it is not a political appointment. D'Souza took the oath of the office before President Christine Kangolo at the ceremony of the office of the President. He replaced outgoing chairman Nicholas Ferreira Aaron, who served her 3-year tenure. He hopes to meet other commissioners this week and has already had a chat with the SRC members, Dr. Darrell Dindial. That's our next one again. That is our next one. So since we're talking about Dindial, we're going straight into the story. Chief Personnel Officer Dr. Darrell Dindial says the increase in Prime Minister Dr. Keith's salary is actually close to 25% and not 47%. Dindial, who is also Secretary of the Salary Review Commission, so he was part, Trinidad and Tobago, he was part of, I believe, the putting together of the increased package for those high-ranking officials in Trinidad and Tobago who recently got an increase in salary. Now, he stated that the Prime Minister was a recipient of a duty allowance that was consolidated with his salary. $50 million. The duty allowance is really worth 15% of his existing salary, and when you consolidate that, he loses the allowance. Let me tell you something. You see, in Trinidad and Tobago, we just hear too much at it for that coming from high-ranking officials. High-ranking officials. So we're going to leave that right there. According to the SRC 120th report, the Prime Minister's salary will move from $59,680 to $87,847. The increase in salary for top state officials, including President Christine Kangaloo, Member of Parliament and judges, will see a back pay of $150 million payout. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this same Dindal is the same chief personal officer that told you 4%, nothing more. I want you to understand that. This is the same chief personnel officer that told you all nothing more than 4%. Say you the working class, or how should I say, the lower class of Trinidad and Tobago, or those who work in the public sector, nothing more than 4%, take it or go home. This is the same chief personnel officer. The same chief personnel officer, who is also the secretary of the Salary Review Commission. The secretary. What did they do?
Clarify the public debate.
What did they do? They come together and they raise the high-ranking officials of Trinidad and Tobago's salary while you get 4% and can't open your mouth. You cannot open your mouth, otherwise you're getting nothing. But here now, he is telling us the actual salary or the actual increase is 25%. The same Dindial who tell you 4% or nothing is telling us now that the Salary Review Commission raised the salary of the Prime Minister by 25%. Are you happy? Are you happy? The same blasted Prime Minister who is telling all you to tighten all your belt. He took a 28%. And what I get? I get 4 cents on a dollar. How are you feeling? Proud? Or you should feel proud of all yourself. It's sad, you know. It's really, really sad. I'm laughing, you know why? We like it like this. We like it like this. The government has unapologetically accepted the recommendation of the Salary Review Commission, which will pave the way for pay increase substantially in some cases for politicians and other public officers. A while, the UNC has rejected the proposal of the increase. Well, listen to this.
Well, to clarify the public debate, I just made it very clear. The government accepts the recommendation. To implement it, it will require a circular from the Minister of Finance, and the politics will start or it will end. We are not running from it to start it or to run from it from those who start it. I told you again, let me say it again. The only thing I'm afraid of is being truthfully accused of thieving government money. I have no fear of accepting the recommendations of the SRC if that is going to be my legacy.
I'm happy that all are feeling sad. You know why? We like it like this. You know what I get happy about? Remember when I told you all that property tax is not legally implemented in Trinidad and Tobago? And the more citizens run to pay property tax, is the faster the government will legalize property tax in Trinidad and Tobago. They need a 50% threshold. Remember when I was telling earlier, Brian Manning in the Ministry of Finance is telling us that property tax is not implemented in Trinidad and Tobago. It is not a legislation. It is not an amendment. They need a 50% threshold in order for it to be legal. You know what all you're doing as a citizen? All you're running to pay property tax so that it would become legal in Trinidad and Tobago. And when it becomes legal in Trinidad and Tobago, and all you can't pay property tax, let me tell you something. I believe in March 2025. In March 2025, the Revenue Authority will be on stream in Trinidad and Tobago. You know what the Revenue Authority will do? When you ain't pay your property tax, which is not implemented yet in Trinidad and Tobago, the more they run is the faster they will implement it in Trinidad and Tobago. Know what all you're doing. Because some of you will lose your TV in your house. When the Revenue Authority comes on stream in March month in 2025, and you fail to pay your property tax for, I believe it's a few months accumulated, they will come and seize your chattel in your house. You know why is that? Your couch, your stove, your TV, your fridge, your micro, your washing machine, your blender, your coffee maker, they will take it from your house and sell it. And in 5 years, if you do not pay your property tax, they're going to seize your house. This is why I told you on a program I had, property tax is not implemented. Do not be the clowns in Trinidad and Tobago and let the puppets fool all you into paying property tax. You know why Clog and Bird bullied the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? You want to know how he did that? Went into Parliament, brought out a legislation and amendment that if you do not pay property tax, you commit a criminal offense. Let me tell you something. Me and Clong will end up in court. We will end up in court. Because I not paying none. Because you cannot bully me to pay property tax. You cannot send somebody by my house, my residential house, to tell me, Saeed, you could get $5,000 for that. Let me tell you something. Don't come to tell me how much money I could get for my house in rent. It is not for rent. To start with, I'm paying a loan for it. It's not for rent. But we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we stupid. We run into pay it, so it will be implemented. So when you don't pay now, who will end up the individual being fooled by the clown? You. And to make it more worse, if you sign over your property to your children, and you ain't paid the tax for 10 years because you can't pay it, you know your children had to pay that 10 years? Who go lose the property? And your children go lose it? That is how stupid we are in Trinidad. But me coming to educate you in Trinidad now, side you're bashing the PNM. No, I'm trying to save your house that your grandchild go inherit it. That's what I'm trying to do. But your head so full of Clung and Burt and Kid Rowley, you run into them. Kid Rowley get $28,000 increase. How much you get? How much you get? All come the man, be real. All living in Trinidad. Because 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, you have to get off your bed to go to work to pay property tax. To pay taxes. How much shall I get increase? Side your bashing? No. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to show you where your money going down the drain. I'm trying to show you where you are being bullied. I'm trying to save your property so your children could inherit it tax-free or property tax-free. But you want to be part of the 50 people, right? Or the 50% that would cause property tax to implement. Is stupid we stupid in Trinidad? Or is dotish we dotish? Which one? I just don't know how to say it again. Because the government will not come out and educate you. They will not. They will go to parliament. They will bring forth a legislation. They will turn it into amendment and then tell you it is a criminal offense. Keep in mind, Clung and Boot got exempted from property tax. I want you to understand that. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Saeed. Good night to you and your team and your listeners of Trinidad and Tobago.
You're live, my friend.
Saeed Ali, I heard everything you say in your show. For a very long time, I, as a man that has been listening to you right through. But you know something, Mr. Saeed Ali? The Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is in big trouble. Here why? We have a prime minister and a government that doing what they want to do when they feel to do it and how they feel to do it. And we have an opposition leader that our taxpayers pay in our whole opposition team. That's showing no strength at all. Mr. Saeed Ali, you want to tell me all these things taking place in this country and the opposition leader does not have the legal rights to put things in place for we to come out behind the opposition leader and march against these things to get these things stopped and to get the people out. The people that are doing these things, get them out. You want to tell me I am not seeing the strength in the opposition leader and in the team of the opposition in this country. So therefore, the citizens of this country has to face the problem of no opposition and the leader we have doing the way he wants. So what is our other option? Don't matter who comes where to investigate or to watch over this election. We have no control. We have no control. The people of this country have nobody to stand up for them. Why it is we have a whole opposition team that does nothing? Why? Why that happening, Mr. Ali? If these things happen in other countries, Mr. Ali, the mashing of the whole city, the mashing of the country until people have to bring it back to the correct way. What happened to the correct way? What is the right thing? Why people in this country does not like to do the right thing? Mr. Saeed, have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we're going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, the West Indies group of university teachers is still awaiting communication from the University of the West Indies. You're going to hear more of this when we return.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Become a member of Realtalk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas. Open a fixed deposit with Realtalk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Realtalk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow. Tomorrow.
1
throws you a curveball. And you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Now, let me finish up this salary review story. But the Prime Minister asked if he believes that a new salary increase was fair and justifiable. The PM said, whether it is fair or not, it is not the point. Those are recommendations and he accepted it. Listen to this.
Well, I thought I just dealt with that. I'm saying that the body that has been asked to look at it in the widest possible context is the Salaries Review Commission. They have been asked to do that. So I don't see anybody asking them that, you're asking me. I'm simply saying I have accepted the work that they have done. The recommendations have come after work that I believe has been good work, and I'm prepared to accept their work. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of the story. No, I'm saying the work, whether it is fair or not, is not the point. Those who were given the assignment to do it, they have done it. These are the recommendations. I accept it without more on this occasion. That is all I'm saying.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. He said it took 13 years for the SRC report to be where it is today. But there was a time when public servants were given 15% increase. Listen to this now.
The message is that all of these matters are part of compartments of the government's business, and every single one of them will be dealt with under the arrangements to deal with it. I know that there are those who will want to conflate them, and that's the politics of it. I mean, as a matter of fact, you mentioned WIGOT. Moments ago, I have directed the Minister of Finance, who is not the employer at the university, he's simply the gatekeeper at the Exchequer. I've directed the Minister of Finance to treat with that matter with the principal, who is in fact in law the employer, and let the processes work. It is the people who are trying to conflate the processes into one and the same. When I just told you, it took 13 years for the SRC report to be where it is here in front of us for that group of officers that's covered by them. But before, there was a time when you were dealing with public servants and giving them a 15% increase in the scheme of that part of the work that deals with that. So let us let the processes work. And there's no process that has more consultation and examination than the work of the SRC with respect to emoluments. It is an emotional and emotive political thing, yes, but let the processes work.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, the reason why I showed you all the two Prime Minister clip is to let you know this. The Prime Minister got a 25% increase in salary according to Dindial. Dindial, who is the Secretary of the Salary Review Commissioner, who is also the Chief Personnel Officer that negotiated 4% for you all. You all got your 4%? It's either you take 4% or you take nothing and go home with your mouth dry. Good? All right. That is what I tell the people and them. 4%, otherwise nothing for you. 4 cents on a dollar. Now let me talk to you like that. Now, the Prime Minister are breaking it down for you to understand, citizens. I want you to understand. You get 4% on $1, which is 4 cents on the dollar. Good? Nice. The Prime Minister got 25% increase on the dollar. So what did he get? He get 25 cents on a dollar, while you get 4%. Otherwise, go home and drink your old dirty water you get in water pipe. Good? Nice. Listen to what Marvin Gonzalez had to tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago while them getting a large increase. Before we go to Marvin, cabinet ministers' salary moved from $41,000 to $52,000. Listen to me clearly. Cabinet ministers got an increase in salary from $41,000 to $51,000. And when that increase hit the cabinet, listen to what Marvin Gonzalez had to say. While you had to remain with 4 cents on a dollar. Listen to this.
And even within our own homes, we may have to call our homes and our families together around a table and say, you know what? We can no longer afford to go to the movies twice a week or 3 times a week. We may not be able to bake ham every month or make macaroni pie. We may have to cut back because we may have to reapportion some of the scarce resources to other important things. And sometimes our children may scream at us and they might throw themselves into tantrum. And they may even throw shoes at us and break glasses. But that child, that young boy and that young girl must have no doubt in their minds that the decisions of their parents is for their greater good. And whilst they may not be able to understand it at that point in time, but the time will come when they recognize and appreciate what their parents was trying to achieve for them.
So Trinidad and Tobago, while all are begging and all are protesting and all are down on all their knees, as the Commissioner of Police would say, pray, pray. While all you're begging and sweating, begging for your increase, cabinet ministers got an increase from 41,000 to 51,000, and that is what Marvin Gonzalez had to tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. What about the port workers and them who had to stop protesting and go back to work? Judges got an increase. So the judge who told port workers to down all their tool, them get an increase. Did the port workers get an increase? No. They had to put a tail between their leg and go back to work. It's stinking sad. It's stinking sad to see leaders of this country doing the citizens who put them there. Outside you're bashing P&M, you're clung at trying to help you get a little more in your salary. So you could have a little more to go by the bar to take an extra glass. Call a good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, concerning the topic you're talking about, right? My personal opinion is the salary increase to the Prime Minister probably justified. He probably supposed to get the amount he gets in. The problem is why you offer the people 4%. That is the problem, because everything going up, inflation, every single thing going up. You can't offer a man 4% and you take in 25%. It
Correct.
won't work like that. And to expand on that, right, I was reading an article last week on the papers. You read the article concerning the Chief Justice, how the Prime Minister said that the Chief Justice was going to take legal action against the SRC.
Yep.
If against the government, if they didn't accept the SRC proposal.
Yeah.
You read the article? Right. Now he's saying that the only reason why he takes that recommendation and accept it is because the Chief Justice was going to take legal action against them. Let me tell you something. He could only fully support us because all they spend a certain money to send 2 lawyers, 2 senior counsel, the Privy Council to fight a case against the Auditor General, which all they had no ground. All they waste a certain taxpayers' money. You went on a full commissioner inquiry for 4 divers. The only people get big money are the lawyers. Check it for yourself. So it's only taxpayers' money going on the drain. So you can't come and tell me you take that SRC recommendation and accept it because a man threatened you with legal action.
Correct.
Nah, man. You have to come better than that. And I'm going to tell you, I want to ask you a question before I go, right? Is the CARICOM people who he bring in to observe the election, did he handpick all these people himself? Handpick the people to do the investigation against the Auditor General? I don't know, I just asked him questions there.
Well, when that time reach, we go see. We go see about that. So Trinidad and Tobago, when you see Saieed live on a program, I didn't come here to bash anybody. I could bash. I'm in a 1% status that I could bash. I'm a licensed money lender in Trinidad. I lend money for anybody in Trinidad. I am the president of Real Talk Credit Union. Very soon we're going to be opening in Guyana and Barbados. Talks are already in place. I am in a 1% status, but you know what I don't do? I don't boast. You know what I do? I come here every night trying to educate the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago so we would have knowledge. You know what God said? Without knowledge, my people will perish. Without knowledge, you can't get a good work. Without knowledge, you can't drive a nice car. Without knowledge, you can't educate nobody. Hence the reason why I just come here to teach all you things that all you don't know about. You think I want all you to be stupid all the days of all your life? Having for we to pay tax, right true? No. Property tax not implemented. We need a 50% threshold. The government needs that to implement it. But you know who implementing it? We, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, running to pay property tax. We running to pay it, so it will become legal in Trinidad and Tobago. So when the Revenue Authority comes in stream on March 2025, we could lose we house. That's how stupid we are. Kid Rowley telling you that? Finance Minister telling you that? Marvin Gonzalez telling you that? No, they're not going to tell you that. You know who will tell you that? A man like Saieed. A man like Saieed will tell you, hey, it's not implemented. Don't run and pay it. Run and pay it. For them to implement it, you may lose your house. And this is what I've been trying to tell all you from the beginning. But we running going way. To do what? All I running to pay something that's not implemented in Trinidad and Tobago? Isn't that a law? Call a good night.
Hello, good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead, you're live, my friend.
This is the first time I'm calling you, but I discovered you on YouTube. You're doing a good job. You're very informative. I just called to say keep up the good work. But one question I have, do you think it have hope for Trinidad and Tobago? Because seeing the things that's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of car accidents, a lot of deaths, a lot of corruption, and a lot of people afraid to come out of the houses. Do you think it still have growth and hope for Trinidad and Tobago? Because looking at other countries like Haiti, etc., and Africa, etc., you see that these countries and them had like back in the past they had like an opportunity to become something, but because of the government, you see that they become corrupted, so to say, the countries had a fall. So I was just wondering, are we falling into the same bracket? And do you think there's still hope for Trinidad and Tobago, or do you think the next Little America, so to say, will be Guyana, or that is it there for Trinidad?
Now, I'll answer your question honestly. Trinidad and Tobago could fix. Trinidad and Tobago could fix. You see, those people who are sitting on the high official chairs could fix Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. Ola could fix Trinidad and Tobago concerning crime. You know why I say that? Random raid in the community, and we will weep out and weed out and throw out and jail the bastards in the community. That's coming to security. Secondly, when you have a minister in finance that telling Trinidad and Tobago that the check clearing system at Central Bank caused $3.4 billion to go missing, why haven't the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago contacted Jaywanti Ramdas, the only office in Trinidad and Tobago that audits the taxpayer money spent in Trinidad and Tobago, to prove to the nation that the check clearance system was the fault? That right there alone could have fixed the issues or the mismanagement of $3.4 billion. You see the people that sitting on high chairs, they could fix it. You see when the port workers were protesting for their percentage increase that the government owes to them, the industrial court judge still told those workers to stop protesting. You know what she could have done? That judge could have sided with the protesters at the port into telling CPO, the chief personal officer, to negotiate with the port workers and end the matter. Did she side with the port workers? No, she didn't. You know what she sided with? The CPO. Stop protesting and I'll go back to work. I'm going to tell us that hopefully by next week, the pilots in Caribbean Airlines, they're going to strike again. They are going to strike again. Because negotiation is not going as how it's supposed to go. Marvin Gonzalez got an increase in his cabinet portfolio and is telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to pull your run that video again one more time. I want you all to listen it. Listen to what coming out Marvin mouth. Run that video there.
And even within our own homes, we may have to call our homes and our families together around a table and say, you know what? We can no longer afford to go to the movies twice a week or 3 times a week. We may not be able to bake ham every month or make macaroni pie. We may have to cut back because we may have to reapportion some of the scarce resources to other important things. And sometimes our children may scream at us and they might throw themselves into tantrum. And they may even throw shoes at us and break glasses.
All I hear that? All I hear that, Trinidad and Tobago? Don't be clowns. Now, look at this what I showed earlier on screen. When I telling earlier, ministers got increase. Look at it, the Prime Minister from 59 to 87. Scroll up, I want them to see what cabinet ministers got. Trinidad and Tobago, Marvin Gonzalez got a $10,000 increase. But telling you to bring your family around the table and tell them instead of you go dinner 2 times for the week, you had to cut it down. You had to cut it down. Member of Parliament, look at the increase. Go down, scroll it down, I want to see Cabinet Minister. Cabinet Minister, look at it. Marvin Gonzalez is a Cabinet Minister from 41 to 52. Look at it. Look at it, Trinidad and Tobago. That was the Salary Review Commission. I don't look at it now, man. So Trinidad and Tobago, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, Real talk is where you get it on side. Until we meet again, good night.
Thank you.